Hey, Betty, and welcome back. Today, we're going to do a deep dive into this YouTube channel I found called Hypnovibes.
Oh, cool.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of their videos.
Yeah, so specifically, there's this one video that I wanted to, really dive into with you called Channeling Connects to Higher Consciousness. It's a long title. Delivering messages from channeled energy, not the participant. A revolutionary path to universal wisdom.
Wow.
So, a lot going on in this video, and we're going to unpack it all. The hypnotherapist in this video is Naomi, and she's hypnotizing this woman, Navi, who's acting as the channeler.
Okay.
And what's interesting is that you, in the transcript, refers to Naomi, so we're getting her perspective, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, let's just dive in. One of the things that really stuck out to me was all this talk about chip implants.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you caught that part.
Yeah. I mean, they're not talking microchips, right?
No.
Like the time that we've been hearing about, they're talking about something completely different. It's more like an energetic thing.
Yeah, more like an energetic implant.
Yeah.
That's designed to help you with your, upgrade.
Yeah, like an upgrade and to connect you more with your soul's mission and enhance your essence and, just be a better you.
Yeah. And they talk about how, once your mission is complete, the chip might disappear.
Oh, wow.
Like you've graduated or something.
That's wild. So it's not like a permanent thing.
Right, exactly. It's not like you're stuck with it forever.
Yeah.
And they talk about how there are different types and sizes of chips.
Oh, interesting.
And they all have different, coatings, different energy frequencies. And depending on, what you need, you get a different chip.
Okay.
And they really emphasize that, having a chip doesn't change who you are at your core.
Right.
It just allows you to be more of who you already are, like a more fulfilled version of yourself.
Oh, that's interesting. So you're not fundamentally changing who you are. You're just kind of enhancing. Enhancing,
yeah, exactly.
Like a better version of yourself.
Yeah, that was a good way to put it. And there's this whole thing about agreements.
Okay.
You can't just force a chip on someone. There has to be this pre-existing agreement to receive it.
So you're choosing this.
Exactly.
So it's not something that's imposed on you.
Right.
Interesting.
And they talk about how this all relates back to your soul's mission and these pre-life agreements that we make.
Pre-life agreements, what are those?
So basically it's this idea that before we're even born, our souls choose the path that we're going to take in this life.
Like we plan it all out.
Yeah, kind of like a blueprint or a roadmap for our journey.
That's pretty wild. So even the challenging stuff, the stuff that we might not enjoy, we chose that.
That's what they're suggesting, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. But I guess it makes sense in a way.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot to process.
Yeah. So you're saying we choose these challenges to learn and evolve.
Exactly. Every experience is an opportunity for growth.
Yeah.
Even the ones that feel difficult or painful.
Okay. So that makes me think about that story Naomi shared about feeling rebellious as a teenager.
Oh, yeah, right. She wondered if that was somehow connected to her soul's mission.
Yeah, maybe that rebellious phase was part of her path,
Yeah.
Like a necessary step in her development.
It makes you think about how we label things as good or bad,
Totally. What if what we perceive as negative is actually essential for our growth?
Exactly. Maybe it's all part of the plan.
Yeah, maybe. So what else did they talk about in this video? It sounds pretty intense.
Well, there was this whole other thing about consciousness being present in everything.
Everything. You mean everything?
Yeah, they even used the example of a sofa. A sofa has its own energy.
What, the sofa is alive?
Not alive in the traditional sense, but they're suggesting that it holds the energy of the people who have sat on it.
Huh. That's kind of trippy.
Yeah, they even say that you might feel different things when you sit in the same spot on a sofa as someone else because of the residual energy left behind.
Wow. So the sofa's like a sponge soaking up all these vibes.
Yeah, kind of like that. And it made me wonder, if consciousness is everywhere, then how does that change how we interact with the world? Do we start treating objects differently?
That's a really good question. I mean, if everything has some level of awareness, it definitely makes you think twice about how you treat things.
Right. Maybe we need to be more mindful and respectful of everything around us.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So where do we go from here with all this? We've got chip implants, soul missions, conscious sofas. It's a lot to take in.
I know, right? I think we've got a lot to unpack still.
Yeah, definitely. So where were we? Oh, yeah, conscious sofas. I still can't wrap my head around that one. Does my couch have feelings now?
Right. It's wild. But it makes you think, maybe we're not giving enough credit to the world around us. Maybe there's more to everything than meets the eye.
Like, what if everything is vibrating at a certain frequency?
Exactly. And maybe we're just not tuned in to pick up on those subtle energies.
So, hypothetically, if my couch could talk, what kind of stories would it tell?
Oh, man. I don't even want to think about some of the things my couch has seen.
Probably a lot of Netflix binging.
Definitely some spilled snacks.
And maybe some deep conversations late into the night.
Or arguments.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Every couch has witnessed its fair share of those.
But imagine if we could tap into that energy, that history, that's stored within objects. What could we learn?
That's a cool thought. Like, what if we could access the memories of a tree?
Or the wisdom of a mountain?
Whoa, that's deep.
It makes you wonder about the possibilities of communication. Maybe there are ways to connect with the world that we haven't even discovered yet.
Like, what if we could have a conversation with a flower?
Or a rock.
I mean, it sounds crazy, but is it really any crazier than the idea of chip implants and pre-life agreements?
Good point. This whole video is kind of stretching our understanding of reality.
So, do you think this hypno-channeling thing is legit? Like, are they really tapping into something real?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm trying to keep an open mind, but also be skeptical.
Yeah, me too. It's important to question things, right?
Absolutely. We can't just blindly accept everything we hear.
But it's also fun to explore these ideas, even if they seem far-fetched.
For sure. I think it's important to keep our curiosity alive.
Speaking of curiosity, what about those chip implants? You think they're playing a role in all of this consciousness expansion stuff?
That's an interesting thought. It seems like they're all about helping people tap into their full potential.
And maybe by doing that, they're raising the collective consciousness of humanity.
There are ripple effects.
Yeah, one person's transformation inspiring another and so on.
It's kind of beautiful when you think about it.
It is, but also a little bit scary. Like, what if these chips are more powerful than we realize?
I know, it's a lot to consider.
Maybe we should just focus on the more mindful in our everyday lives.
Yeah, that's a good starting point. Treating everything and everyone with respect, recognizing that we're all interconnected.
Totally. Like, even if my couch doesn't have feelings, I should probably still treat it nicely.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Before we move on from this video, I just remembered that Naomi, the hypnotherapist, has a book series
Oh, yeah.
called The Next Level You, and you can find it on Amazon.
Okay.
And it sounds like it digs even deeper into these concepts we've been talking about.
Raising consciousness and all of that.
Exactly. So if you're interested in learning more, Betty, that could be a good resource.
Awesome. Yeah, good tip.
So what are your final thoughts on this whole hypno-channeling thing? Do you think we should all be trying it out?
I mean, I'm not sure if I'm ready to get hypnotized just yet.
Yeah.
But it's definitely opened my mind to new possibilities.
Yeah. It's like we've only scratched the surface of what's out there.
Like there's this whole other world of consciousness that we're just starting to glimpse.
Exactly. And who knows what kind of amazing things we'll discover as we explore further.
Well, Betty, we hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of hypno-channeling.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from chip implants and soul missions to conscious sofas and the idea that everything might have some level of awareness.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride.
But remember, this is just the beginning.
Keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.
Until next time.
Bye, Betty.
In this hypno-channeling session, chip implants are tools for upgrades and soul connections, aligned with agreements to support personal missions. They enhance, not change, one's essence, while also exploring the energy awareness present in objects and the journey of self-discovery.
I want to know if the chip in his head and mine is a similar type of chip implant.
There's a code embedded, yes.
So it's for us to get downloads or upgrade? What is the purpose?
Depends on what experiment is being conducted. Sometimes it's for knowledge, sometimes it's for control, sometimes it's for the link to the families that you have.
The what?
The families that you have other than existing in this reality.
I'm not sure I understand that. Family?
Your other families that you've had.
Oh, other family, not the...
Not the one existing
okay.
in this lifetime.
So depends on the family and what? If they have any messages?
Yes. To assist when there isn't any, when you feel that you don't have any hope or feeling the mission that you were given is not going in a way that it should be.
When that happens, then
Yes.
then the chip will be able to...
It's a highly technologically advanced chip that is able to tap into both energies of the family and yourself.
Uh-huh.
That is how it was created.
But why I think I heard was for raising consciousness.
There's only one aspect of it.
Oh.
There's different types of reasonings on the planting of those chips.
I see. So I heard from my higher self, mine is like a 3-inch long. Maybe that's a different implant?
That is correct. Each size and each coding within that chip exists a energy and frequency that it puts out to yourself and others that you come in contact with.
So I have 2?
You have one. You will not have it alone. It will disappear once the mission is completed.
Oh, so one disappeared already?
Not entirely, no.
Oh, so I have 2.
2.
And they're different shape.
Same shape.
But the one, there's no one is like 3-inch long?
There is. Other one is in your arm,
Arm, left or right?
right?
Uh-huh. It's I don't feel anything. It's, if I take an x-ray,
No.
uh,
Those types of tools will not reveal any of those chips.
so the x-ray is not going to
It's
show.
beyond that kind of
Oh,
technology.
oh. So the one in the arm is for the mission. If I complete, then it's going to disappear?
Yes.
Oh. What kind of mission?
The work that you're doing now,
Oh, so I will not finish until open contact?
you'll still continue even after open contact.
Even after?
Even after, it does not stop.
Uh-huh. I see. Another, the chip is the soul decide to do?
It's an agreement, yes.
Uh-huh. So if there's no agreement, then the person cannot say, I want to have a
It'll be
chip.
false. Cannot willingly ask for it. Nothing happens by chance.
So in a way, people who have chips, they are, how to say, different, little bit different type of human being.
Define different.
So they will do things that, let's say, other people usually don't do.
Question is unclear.
So that's why I felt I was very rebellious when I was a teenager, or even after. It doesn't have to be that way.
That has no bearing on who you are. The chip does not change your core being. It just
Uh-huh.
allows you to be more fulfilled of who you are. Does not change who you are.
I see. So again, the person's personality has little to do with the environment, or the parents, family, has a lot to do with the soul's consciousness level.
To a certain extent, yes.
So let's say if someone is a criminal or mafia, it can be the soul really wants to learn something that, how to say, so it can be an evolved soul who decide to have that kind of life.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah, that's how I feel. Because can we say if people are not afraid to be who they are, they, in a way, they are demonstrating that they have less fear,
Yes.
and the person will be born that way. Doesn't matter.
They come into existence that way, yes.
I see. Very good. So now, I want to ask you one thing. Let's say we understand anything from the nature, the grass, trees, clouds, wind, they are conscious. But let's say something is not a natural elements. Let's say a table, or chair, a metal, furniture. So do they have any sort of awareness?
They do.
Let's say a sofa knows the sofa is a sofa.
No. Used to build that sofa is a combination of those energies.
So what is the sofa's awareness? Is the sofa is made from those energies?
Yes.
I see. But let's say, can this sofa understand how I feel?
Not by looking at it, but by...
Let's say if I sit on it.
You can, yes. You'll immediately notice the difference when you sit in a certain spot and another person that wants to sit in the exact same spot, that person that sits there will notice a change. They will pick up on...
The other person's energy?
Yes.
But that has nothing to do with the sofa.
The sofa itself is
Holding
that energy, yes.
I see. Very interesting. Yeah. We don't know a lot of things. And Every time I learn something new. And I really appreciated this communication and your information. And yeah, I understand better now. And I hope that there will be an opportunity to work together with him. And I will just let
It will
it.
be his own choosing. Let it come
Right.
from him.
Right. I know. I'll let it just play out.
Yes.
Thank you again.